Yo, Celtics Nation! Are you ready for a video that'll get every Boston fan's heart racing? We've got 4 explosive updates that'll blow your mind and keep you locked in till the end. We're talking a game-changing injury, off-season, moves that could reshape the team's future, and shocks nobody saw coming. Are the Celtics ready to rise above the chaos, or is a storm brewing? You won't believe what's coming. So grab a seat, smash that like button, and let's dive into the news. Alright, Celtics Nation, let's jump into the first bombshell because this one hits hard. Picture this, Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks, the crowd's electric, and then the worst nightmare unfolds. Jason Tatum, our superstar, our leader, hits the deck clutching his ankle. The diagnosis? A torn Achilles tendon. Yup. A season-altering injury for the 2025-26 campaign. JT could miss the entire year, and now the big question: how do the Celtics survive without him? This injury isn't just a blow, it's a full-on earthquake for Boston's game plan. Tatum, who averaged 30.1 points, 8.8 rebounds, and 4.9 assists last season, is the heart of the offense. Without him, the spotlight shifts to Jaylen Brown and Kristaps Porzingis. But can they carry the load alone? Fans on X are split. Some are hyping JB, saying it's time for Brown to prove he's the guy, while others are waving the white flag claiming no Tatum, no ring. My take: hold up, there's a silver lining that's got Celtics Nation buzzing. Before the injury, Tatum wasn't just a star on the court, he was a leader off it. Who's vouching for him? Our rookie Baylor Shireman, the 30th pick in the 2024 draft. In a recent Celtics blog interview, Shireman spilled the tea on how Tatum took him under his wing from day one. I got here, he was signing his new deal, and he still made time. For me, Shireman said. The rookie asked about Summer League, and JT dropped gems showing him the ropes. Throughout the season, Tatum was in his ear. Stay confident, attack, shoot when you're open. And it worked. Shireman posted a 48.8% field goal percentage and a wild 47.4% from 3 in March, averaging 17.3 minutes per game. Tatum praised the kid's basketball IQ, saying he knows how to move, uses his body well, even if he's not the most athletic. That's the kind of leadership that makes Tatum more than a player. He elevates everyone around him. Now, with JT sidelined, could Shireman step up as a surprise weapon to fill the void? But let's be real, Tatum's injury puts the Celtics at a crossroads. Brad Stevens, our front office wizard, is crunching numbers because the team's facing a luxury tax bill that's downright scary. Without Tatum, justifying this pricey roster gets trickier. Fans are on edge, and rightfully so. Can Shireman rise to the occasion? Or will JT's absence expose the team's flaws? One thing's for sure, the off-season decisions are make or break. And speaking of the off-season, brace yourself, because the next update will have you rethinking everything about this roster's future. While we're still reeling from Tatum's injury, the off-season is bringing even more heat. Celtics Nation! The hot topic? A potential trade that could change the team's identity. Who's in the crosshairs? Jrue Holiday. That's right, our championship point guard, a defensive rock, is now at the center of trade rumors. With the luxury tax looming, Brad Stevens is tasked with trimming costs, and Holiday's name is on the list. But is trading him worth it? Let's break it down. Holiday at 35 is coming off a season that, let's be honest, wasn't his best. He averaged 11.1 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 3.9 assists per game, a dip from his title-winning form in 2023. Plus, his contract, with over $104 million left, is a budget buster. With Tatum out for 2025 to 26, the new Celtics brass is eyeing that number and wondering, can we afford this roster without our top star? X is buzzing with fan takes. Some are ride or die for Holiday, arguing he's still clutch and his defense is untouchable. Others are colder, saying you can't pay that much for a guy who underperformed. I get both sides. Holiday brings playoff grit and leadership we love, but with the team needing to ease the payroll, he's a target. One rumored deal involves The Los Angeles Clippers sending Holiday west for Bogdan Bogdanovic, Drew Eubanks, and maybe Jordan Miller. What's this mean for Boston? Bogdanovic's a sharpshooter, hitting 40.1% from 3 last season and could stretch the floor like Tatum did. Eubanks adds front court depth, which we'll need with all this uncertainty. But does this package outweigh losing Holiday? The Clippers in win-now mode with Harden and Kawhi would love Holiday's veteran savvy. For the Celtics, it's a gamble. Cutting salary but risking a hit to defense and leadership. Stevens is in a tough spot. Keeping a costly roster without Tatum feels impossible, but trading Holiday could shift the team's soul. Fans are torn, and I want to know, can Bogdanovic lead the offense, or is this trade a mistake we'll regret? Hold tight, because the next update will have you questioning how far the Celtics are willing to go to fix this mess. If you thought trading Holiday was a gut punch, buckle up, Celtics Nation, because this one's even wilder. With Tatum's injury shaking things up, the Celtics are facing a financial crisis that could lead to a blockbuster move. Trading Jaylen Brown. Yep, the guy who carried us in the playoffs, the 2023 Finals MVP, is on the trade block. A rumored deal with the Orlando Magic is making waves, and the return is divisive, to say the least. Is this the end of an era? Here's the deal. Without Tatum for 2025-26, the Celtics are crunching numbers with a vengeance. The new front office doesn't want to shell out over $500 million for a roster that's no longer a title favorite. Enter a proposal from Bleacher Report's Grant Hughes that's got everyone talking. Send JB to the Magic for Jonathan Isaac, Anthony Black, Moritz Wagner, a 2028 first-round pick, top 1 protected, and a 2030 first-round pick, top 6 protected. X is on fire. Some fans scream, trading JB is insanity, he's our future, while others say it's time to rebuild, and this deal's not bad. Let's break it down. Isaac is a defensive stud, averaging 5.4 points, 4.4 rebounds, and 1.1 blocks, with just $15 million guaranteed on a $59 million deal. Black, a promising guard, put up 9.4 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. Wagner, before his ACL tear, was balling with 12.9 points and 4.9 rebounds and could step in for Al Horford, who's on his way out. The draft picks are nice, but the immediate impact of this trio is iffy. Trading a star like Brown, who averaged 25.2 points and 6.1 rebounds for role players and future assets, is a massive risk. Why consider it? Money. The Celtics are teetering on the second apron, and every dollar counts. This trade cuts costs and adds youth, but sacrifices leadership and scoring. The Magic would get a versatile wing to pair with Banchero and Wagner, forming a killer trio. But for us fans, losing Brown after Tatum feels like ripping out the team's heart. On X, some are saying, without JB, just root for the lottery. I'm not there yet, but this deal has me shook. Will Stevens pull the trigger, or does he have a bigger plan? Hang on, because the next update shows the Celtics aren't done surprising us. And while we're grappling with the idea of losing, Jaylen Brown, the offseason, drops another bomb. Celtics Nation. Kristaps Porzingis, our Latvian unicorn, is on thin ice. With Tatum's injury flipping the script, the front office is scrambling to dodge the second apron for the 3rd straight year. Their fix? A trade involving KP with the Orlando Magic and Detroit Pistons in the mix. What do we get and what do we lose? Hold on to your heart, because this one's a wild ride. Here's the scoop. Without Tatum in 2025-26, the Celtics aren't title favorites, and the luxury tax bill is terrifying. Porzingis, with his hefty contract and injury history, is a trade target. The proposed deal sends KP to the Magic, with Detroit helping balance the books. In return, Boston gets Caleb Houstan, Moritz Wagner, and a 2025 second-round pick. Sounds light, right? X-fans are split. Some say cut costs now, while others yell trading KP is tanking the season. Porzingis, with 41.2% from 3 and 20.1 points per game last season, is one of the league's best shooting bigs. He'd be a perfect fit for the Magic, who were dead last in long-range shooting. Alongside Banchero and Franz Wagner, KP could stretch the floor and lock down the paint with his 7'2" frame. The Magic keep their young core, making this a no-brainer for them. But for Boston, the return is where it gets messy. Wagner, pre-ACL injury, was shining with 12.9 points and 4.9 rebounds and could fill front court minutes. Houston's young, but inconsistent, averaging just 4.3 points. The second round pick, number 57, adds cheap talent, but it's no game changer. Detroit absorbs salaries, taking Corey Joseph, Gary Harris, and Goga Bitadze, plus another second rounder. For the Celtics, this deal dodges the second apron by a mere $229,000, avoiding draft penalties. But is it worth it? Losing Porzingis means giving up a guy who, when healthy, transforms the offense. Wagner's solid, but he's no KP. Fans are stressed, and I'm right there with them. Is Stevens playing it too safe, or is he cooking something bigger? Stick around, because the wrap-up will have you ready to sound off in the comments. What a roller coaster, Celtics Nation. Tatum's injury shook the foundation. Holiday and Brown might be out the door, and even Porzingis is on shaky ground. The Celtics are at a crossroads. Cut costs or double down without JT. Shireman could be a spark, but can he handle the heat? X is lit with fan reactions, and I want that energy here. Are these trades the path to a rebuild, or mistakes we'll regret? Is Stevens playing chess or just saving face? Drop your take in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.